Hey everybody, Kelly Engineer here, and welcome to episode 25 of Journey Across the Void. In between episodes, I didn't really do much of anything except for, get half of episode 25 done before my world crashed on me, and yeah, I had to recover the world. Unfortunately, the work that I had done for episode 25 is still lost. What I was doing was making all of the alcohols for Pam's Brewcraft, and since I lost that part of the world, or since I lost so much progress from that world when I recovered it, I don't feel like doing that again right now, so I'm going to try something different for this episode 25, and that is going to be EnderIO automation. So this room is the 5th floor, and this is where I'll be putting all of my EnderIO stuff. I have already put up the walls, and embedded in the walls right here are going to be all of my EnderIO machines. Basically, the goal of this room is to automate the creation of capacitors and to automate the creation of all of the extraneous EnderIO stuff. So things like the zombie electrodes, the Z-Logic controllers, I want all of this stuff to be automated and then sent immediately to an ME system. I mentioned in an earlier episode that each section of the base I want to have its own ME system, and I'm going to build one here as well. The first thing I need to do in order to facilitate that is the next thing that we're going to be doing. So let me go set all of that up and then we'll build it for you. So here is my first setup, and it's pretty standard stuff. I'm just making a whole bunch of lava, putting it into these barrels, and I have emptied out my entire ME system of its skystone dust, and it is making me some skystone. The skystone is going from here into auto hammers, and from the auto hammers into auto sieves. The auto sieves, I'm only going to have diamond meshes in them, and possibly one flint mesh, because I could have a use for these Certus quartz seeds, and even though this is the EnderIO area, it is absolutely necessary that I have these in here, because I am going to be compressing everything I get from a diamond mesh, mainly these 64K ME storage cells. So the 64K ME storage cells can be condensed down into quantum entangled singularities. And from the quantum entangled singularity, I'm going to be able to hook up all of my ME systems from all across the base. And the first one and the main area for that is going to be in the EnderIO area. So that is why I have this hooked up in the EnderIO area. All of the drops, I'm not going to be using quantum storage units like I have been because, I've been making too many. I want to make something different. So I'm going to go with industrial foregoing. I'll be using black hole units. And where are you? So the black hole units, I'm only making 24 of them for now, and of course they don't stack because why would they? I'm also going to make some labels because these labels, once I put something in a black hole unit, it doesn't actually, display on the outside what is actually in there, which is what these labels are for. So I'm going to go hook these up in that little area, and I'll be back with you for the next step that we're going to be making. So I am finishing up the first part, and I still have quite a bit of work to do. But what I have done is on the other side of this wall, I have placed a whole bunch of mystical agriculture crops, and they're going to grow me everything necessary in order to grow all of the EnderIO ingots. And so it's going to be a little difficult because like the energetic alloy is required in order to make the vibrant alloy, and then there's another one. Yeah, end steel ingots require the dark steel ingots in order to be made. So I'm going to have to finagle some things around in order to make that work. Additionally, all of that requires coal dust, or pulverized coal, which is why I have these sag mills here. So I'm going to be crafting up all of the coal, and I think it's in this one? Yeah. So the coal is going to travel all the way to those sag mills, and the pulverized coal is going to distribute to wherever is necessary in these alloy smelters. And I definitely went overkill with them, but I'm sure I can find a use for it. Actually, you know what? It may be a little too much because I have already... Oh, man, I already have 900 soul sand, and these haven't even been running for like 2 minutes. Oh, well, we'll jump that bridge when we get to it. Another thing that I'm going to run into a problem with is trying to find a way to store these. So I was looking for options to like wirelessly transfer items, and there was one. So from Cyclic, the item transfer node... I may try this out. I've never used it before. The only problem is I don't think I can hide it. So yeah, that is a problem. I may just end up using AE2 in order to actually wirelessly connect whatever this is all the way over to my ME system, which is going to be in the center of this corridor. Yeah, I'm going to hook all of that up. Oh man, I didn't even I wish the alloy smelters had the ability to actually like hold recipes. Otherwise, once this runs out, I would have to reset all of the recipes all over again. Oh, that is a problem. I am very, very proud of this. I still have one more thing that I need to do, which is cover up all of these item ducts. However, this is complete. So I didn't double up the dark steel and the energetic alloy over there because I think it would have messed with the look of it and only having two things that were doubled up. So instead what I did is I actually have one of those alloy smelters directly feeding these two. And eventually I'm going to have upgraded capacitors for these. I didn't have the energetic alloy in order to upgrade the basic capacitors. That's going to be the next thing that I do. So over here in the back, you see that there is one more connection, and this connection is just taking the items from the back and feeding it directly into here. Anything else is going right up here to this black hole unit. I had to make 5 extra black hole units in order to fit all of this, because it's a lot of black hole units, but it's perfectly fine. There is only one more thing that I need to do for this setup, and that is find a place to put all of this pulverized coal. One sag mill definitely would have done. Yeah, the amount of pulverized coal I'm making is just a little too much for what I actually need, which is right here, this electrical steel, and over here with the dark steel. Regardless, I am going to leave 3 sag mills, and I'm just going to make one more black hole unit just to store the leftover pulverized coal, and then the sulfur I'm going to trash. The next thing that we're going to work on is we're actually going to hook up all of these black hole units into an ME system, like I said earlier, that we're going to put into this corridor. So I'm going to go get everything ready. I'm probably going to have to give it its own power source as well, but that's perfectly fine. We'll jump that hurdle. Before I move on, I do want to cover what's going on back here, and oh, actually the capture looks pretty good. It's jumping a little bit, but it's perfectly fine. So I have my fusion reactor powering this ultimate energy cube, and the ultimate energy cube is powering every single one of these machines. And you can see that I have the item ducts feeding into the black hole units, and every single connection has a resonant servo on it and or a filter. I did not have the servos on this before, and as a consequence, once you get all the way down here, I had to double this up in order to get the pulverized coal out of the system, but that left a gap for items to actually travel and then enter the back of my alloy smelters. And yeah, it was just all energetic alloy being crafted, which is why in my black hole unit, I have more energetic alloy right now than any other alloy. So that problem has been fixed with just adding servos to everything and filtering specifically what I want using that servo. I also do not have any of these seeds at 10-10-10 because I am producing more than enough. Oh, that is the wrong button. I am producing more than enough items, only using the 111s. I grabbed the 10-10-10 iron seeds and gold seeds from my deep mob learning setup, and I'm producing quite a bit of it. I probably should just downgrade these to 111 so I'm not, overflowing anything. But for right now, it's perfectly fine. It's not causing a problem. And now we're ready to move on. Alright, I'm setting up the ME system right now, and I need y'all's help. I need some advice on how to properly run Optifine. This is probably the second time that I've ever run Optifine in my life. I normally don't use it, but there was an area in this corner that just would not render under any circumstance, so I installed Optifine, and it fixed the problem. Unfortunately, I now have these lighting glitches. I've looked through all of the settings to figure out specifically what is causing this lighting glitch, but I can't figure it out. And it's like that with the regular ME drive regardless. And as I'm sure you noticed, with the quantum storage units, they're not transparent anymore either, and I don't know what's causing that either. All glass textures work just fine, but when it comes to the quantum storage unit, I can't actually see inside them anymore. And yeah, it's a little frustrating. So if anybody knows the fix or specifically what's causing that and how to fix it, please put it in the comments so I can actually... This is bugging me and I want it fixed. Sorry I keep getting lost in the weeds so much. I do want to move on to the next topic. However, I did just discover that I was not getting a very smooth distribution between the dark steel going to this black hole unit and the dark steel going to these alloy smelters. The reason why that was is because in my resonant servo, I had these set to round robin, which was a force of habit. I have this one now at nearest first and this one at furthest first. So that way I actually am getting that even distribution and things are evening out. I have about a little over 3 stacks here and I have a little over 4 stacks here. So that is perfectly fine and that has fixed my problem. So just remember, if you do want an even distribution, make sure you mess with how the sorting option on your servo works. Alright, checking in for a quick update, and right now I have my advanced subscribers going, making me some pressed silicon, and I also have it making me some calculation circuits. What I'm going to do in between episodes is I'm actually going to create more advanced subscribers because these are the 8 that I had before, and I'm going to put them right here to actually make all of my circuits. Not my circuits, but my processors. I also have all of the stuff that I'm creating over here importing into the system. It says I don't have wireless right now. That's another thing that's going to have to be in the next episode. It's just using a white ender chest. And this is entirely temporary. I'm going to, as soon as I have wireless capability, that's immediately going in there. I have also removed channels from the pack because I just didn't feel like fiddling with them, honestly. I may put them back a little bit later, but right now, just to make sure that all of this is working as it should, channels have been disabled. And yeah, that's really all there is to it right now. I have a sag mill making me silicon, and that's immediately getting imported into this ME system, and then getting put into these advanced subscribers so I can get the printed silicon. And that's happening via this material stonework factory. That's really all there is to it right now. I don't know the next thing that I need to set up. Probably some auto crafters to make sure that I am getting all of the appropriate capacitors crafted up. So yeah, that's probably going to be the next thing that I set up right here. I have also run into another problem, and that's the fact that I set my one piece of bedrock that I was allowed up in the disk of the Triskelion, which means I cannot, down in my EnderIO area, create my infinity dust anymore. I'm probably just going to, I have more than enough infinity dust anyway, and I've obviously broken into mystical agriculture, so I'm going to handle all of my infinity dust with mystical agriculture from this point, and I'll probably put it behind the other wall on the other side. I just about have all of the infinity crops grown up. In between episodes, I'm going to get these up to 10, 10, 10, and that's going to be quite the feat. But anyway, I do have my infinity dust now, my infinity dust production rather, since I don't have my piece of bedrock down here. What I'm going to do with that piece of bedrock up in the disk, I have absolutely no idea. But at the very least, I do have grains of infinity essence, and I can take that stuff over here, and yeah, I'm going to immediately import it into my crafting terminal. And here we go, grains of infinity. Now that I have all of, now that I have this figured out, it's going to be easy. Now that I have this figured out, it's going to be very easy to autocraft all of the capacitors, because the capacitor, in order to autocraft all capacitors that I need a lot of grains of infinity. I'm also probably going to have to hook up some copper crops as well in order to get all of that started. Everything else pretty much speaks for itself. I have no problem with the crushed coal at this point, or the energetic alloy. And then, oh, I have glowstone production as well, so yeah, I can autocraft all of this. And here we are. Here are all of my copper crops. So I have already set up one of my crafters right now. It's of course not powered, but neither is this plant gatherer, and I need to make another plant gatherer for over there anyway. I ran out. But this crafter is a tier 1, and it's going to make me the grains of infinity and the copper ingots, and those are going to be fed into this crafter, which are going to be set up for the basic capacitors and the double capacitors. I always forget their names. Yeah, the double layer capacitor. I'm sorry, I seem to be out of it right now. I am incredibly tired. So yeah, the double layer capacitor is going to be made here, and then the octatic capacitors are going to be made in this crafter right here. So I do have my work cut out for me in between episodes, but I am ready to close this one out. In between episodes, we're going to do exactly what I said I was going to do. So I am Kelly Engineering, and I'm sorry that this episode seemed a little haphazard, but I'm happy with how it's coming together. It's far from complete, but I am happy with how it's turning out so far. But I am Kelly Engineering. I hope that you did enjoy this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.